and my name is Shaira.
And today, we're going to discuss about
Virginia Woolf. Adeline Virginia Woolf was born on January 25, 1882 at Hyde Park Gate, Atlanta. Her parents were Sir Leslie Stephen and Julia Princep Tucker. She is an English writer, one of the foremost modernists of the 20th century. During interwar period, she was a significant figure in London literary society and a central figure in the influential Bloomsbury group intellectuals. Famous novels, including Mrs. Dalloway on 1925, To the Lighthouse 1927, and Orlando 1928. Her book-length essay, A Room of One's Own on 1929, with its famous diction, a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. Her father, Sir Leslie Stephen, was a notable historian, author, critic, and mountaineer. He is also the founding editor of the Dictionary of National Biography, which is a work influenced Woolf's later experimental biographies. Her mother, Julia Stephen, was a renowned beauty, born in British India. Virginia married the writer Leonard Woolf on August 10, 1912. The couple shared a close bond. Her work began her writing professionally in 1900. The Voyage Out, her first novel on 1950, which is originally titled Melibrosia, but Woolf repeatedly changed the draft. She is considered as a major innovator in the English language. She experimented her works with stream of consciousness and the underlying psychological as emotional motives of characters. Her reputation declined sharply after World War II, but reestablished with the growth of feminist criticism in the 1970s. Woolf is arguably the major lyrical novelist in the English language. Her works are To the Lighthouse 1927, which is a set on 2 days 10 years apart. Orlando 1928, her lightest novels. The Waves 1931 is her prose poem. Flush, a biography in 1933, which is a part fiction biography of the Cocker Spaniel owned by Victorian poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And last, The Between the Acts, 1941. Attitudes toward Judaism, Christianity, and Fascism of Virginia Woolf. She was criticized by some as an anti-Semite, despite her being happily married to a Jewish man.
Virginia Woolf uses styles and techniques in her writings, like stream of consciousness. But how did she use this? Instead of following a chronological and linear story, it tells the story not as it occurs to the narrator. It stems from a feeling that a writer is in the moment and that you are witness raw unfettered emotion. One of her novel, To the Lighthouse 1927, considered one of her writings that has this kind of style. We notice the passage of time through the narrator's emotion rather than simply using clocks or timepieces. Some of Virginia Woolf's works focus on feminist and lesbian themes. It is called feminism. In her works, such 1997, Woolf's best-known non-fiction works, A Room of One's Own, 1929, and Three Guineas, 1938, examine the difficulties that female writers and intellectuals faces because men holds disproportionate legal and economic power and future of women in education and society. In her death, he suffered under mental illness. Much scholarship has been made of Woolf's mental illness described as a manic depressive illness in Thomas Caramagnus, 1992. After completing the manuscript of her last novel, Between the Acts, Woolf fell into a depression similar to that which she had earlier experienced. The onset of World War II, the destruction of her London home during the Blitz, and the cool reception given to her biography of her friend Roger Fry all worsened her condition until she was not able to work. On March 28, 1941, Woolf put her overcoat, filled its pockets with stones, walked into a river, her home, and drowned herself. Woolf's body was not found until 18 April 1941. Her husband buried her cremated remains under an elm in the garden of Monk's house, their home in Ronhill, Sussex.
As additional to that, Woolf suffered from severe bouts of mental illness throughout her life, thought to have been the result of what is now termed bipolar disorder, and committed suicide by drowning in 1941 at the age of